But this is What If Naruto Fell into a Coma. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get straight into part 1. Everything about part 1 Naruto would go practically the same until the Rasengan and Chidori clash between Curse Mark Stage 2 Sasuke and One-Tailed Cloak Naruto. Because, so Naruto, in this moment, right before he and Sasuke clash, he would remember what happened back at the roof of the hospital. When Kakashi threw them to the side, both of their attacks hit two different things, and Sasuke's did a decent amount of damage up front, but Sasuke would see, and so would Naruto, that Naruto's attack did a whole hell of a lot more damage. Because of this, Naruto would see that if he actually does manage to push past Sasuke, he might actually kill him with this kind of power. So he decides, I guess it isn't worth it. Naruto deactivates his Rasengan, and he would jump, and he would basically be launched straight into Sasuke's Chidori. Now Sasuke wouldn't actually hit him with the shoulder, he would actually hit him directly in the heart. Naruto's body would fall to the ground, and Naruto would be, well, instantaneously killed. His body would be healed by the Nine Tails chakra, but he would be dead. Or rather, he would seem to be dead, at least to Sasuke. And since the Nine Tails chakra would like take a little bit of time to heal him, wouldn't heal him automatically, Sasuke basically falls to the ground and says, "What? Why didn't you just stop? You idiot. I can't believe that I actually won. Oh god, what have I done? Naruto, I'm so sorry, This is the price I have to pay for redemption." Blood would fall down his face as Sasuke would awaken his Mankai Gekkyo Sharingan. After this, Sasuke would leave, and Kakashi would arrive a few minutes later to see Naruto on the ground with a hole in his jacket, but his chest is healed because of the Nine Tails chakra. Kakashi would take him back to Konoha, and he would eventually be put in a hospital. Naruto would be put in a hospital bed, and he would be like hooked up to an IV and stuff like that. And after this, we know that Choji was able to survive along with Neji and everybody else. So everybody else manages to pull through, and Shikamaru sighs a sigh of relief. Tsunade would actually check up on Naruto and come to the conclusion that he has actually fallen into a coma because of the state of his body, his breathing, how his heart and lungs are working, and all this stuff. So he's like a near-death state or a coma. Tsunade would immediately curse herself for giving Naruto the necklace, because this always happens to people who she gives the necklace to, but at least he isn't dead. But after all of this, Shikamaru and the rest of the teams would come in. Like, everybody would be checking out Naruto. Choji has gotten a lot better, and so has Neji, but everybody's wondering, wait, where the hell is Naruto? And so Sakura and Kakashi come in, as well as Team 10 and Asuma, Team 8 and Kurenai, and also Team Guy with his 3. All of them would come inside, and they would see Naruto is still in his bed, still unconscious. "Hey, Lady Tsunade, do you know when he's gonna wake up? I mean, it's already been a couple of days, hasn't it? He should be up by now." Tsunade would bite her bottom lip and say, or she wouldn't say anything, she would just bite her bottom lip, and Shizune would be looking at her worriedly. "What happened to Naruto anyways?" Sakura would ask. Kakashi would remember back to the fight, or rather remember back to the aftermath of the fight, when he saw Naruto with like basically what would have been a hole in his jacket, as I said, and it actually went all the way through to the backside of his jacket. So Kakashi was like, Kakashi was like, probably like, Kakashi probably thought that the Nine Tails had healed him, but the Naruto had been stabbed in the chest. Pulling a Rin up in this bitch. Anyways, Kakashi would then say, when I found Naruto, there was a hole in his jacket that was right in front of his heart. The hole exited the other side, but his body wasn't physically damaged. It was almost like Sasuke had killed him, but something healed him. It might have been the Nine Tails, after all. I could sense its chakra coming off of him, when I got there, at least. That same potent chakra that the Nine Tails gives off. It was on him, but it was fading away as I got there. So, you mean Sasuke really did try to kill Naruto? Ino would say. I'm afraid so. You actually stabbed him straight through the heart. But, surprisingly, he's fine. Well, actually, Kakashi, he's not fine, Tsunade would say, continuing to bite her lip. Dry would be at the window and he would say, What do you mean? What do you mean he's not okay? Everybody would perk around and Hinata would start to get worried. Because he had a near-death experience, and because of the damage done to his body, his mind has, you could say, exited his body. He has fallen into a coma. A coma that doesn't look like he's going to recover from anytime soon. We're going to probably, more than likely, going to have to start feeding him water and feeding him actual food through tubes and things like that. What? Hinata would say. You mean Naruto's not gonna wake up? Sakura would then pipe up. It could be quite possible that he could wake up in a couple of days. But it could also be quite possible that he won't wake up for years on end. Years? Are you serious? Kiba would start. Akamaru. And then Akamaru would bark as well. This is troublesome. After all, Naruto is the strongest out of all of us. Everyone would look over to Shino. What? I'm just stating the truth. Sasuke's curse mark was much more powerful than any of those others. In fact, I think Sasuke was probably on Kimimura's level. The bone guy that you told me about? If I can figure it correctly. After all, he was already going up against Gaara pretty easily. I think in that curse mark, with that curse mark, if he actually got into that demon curse mark stage 2 form, he probably would have survived. Probably would have, well, easily killed any of us. But Naruto, he seemed much more powerful. I don't know. It just seems like he'd have to be insanely strong to even keep up with that kind of Sasuke. Even if he did manage up losing. I guess you're right. Neji would then say. Everybody would be shocked. Neji wasn't really one to say that someone was genuinely stronger than him. Naruto does seem quite strong. After all, there's, well, no way that he could have survived against Sasuke if he was weak. And if anything, that healing factor is something to be envious of. So are you sure he won't wake up? I don't know, Tsunade would say, clutching her arms. I shouldn't have sent you all in that mission. That was way too dangerous. All of them were Chunin level fighters. At best, we're Chunin level fighters. That's more than I could have asked of any of you. I thank you for going, but this has been a great I've made a grave mistake by doing this. And who knows when Naruto will wake up. But let's wait for some time, okay? Maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to wake up in a couple of days. Hopefully. Don't worry, Lady Tsunade, Sakura would say. I'm sure Naruto will pull through. He always does. Thank you, Sakura. I kinda needed that. Now come on, everyone. Let's go back and let's, get back to the village. Basically, that's what she would say. They'd all walk out, and Kakashi and Jiraiya would actually stay behind. Maybe I shouldn't have put so much faith in him, Jiraiya would say. Why do you say that, Lord Jiraiya? I say that because I gave him power, yet I told him that he was on Sasuke's level. And, before Sasuke could manipulate that curse mark or whatever, he was totally could destroy Sasuke. You saw it firsthand. Yes, on that hospital rooftop, Naruto would have definitely killed Sasuke. So, you really think that it is over? That Naruto will just not wake up? I don't think so, Lord Jiraiya. Naruto has a tendency to prove us wrong. So are you saying it's better if we believe that he won't wake up, so that he does? I'm just saying he has a tendency to surprise everyone. I guess you're right. Well, I'm gonna be leaving the village in a little bit, and I'll be gone for somewhere around 2 years. I'll be back. I promise. Hopefully, he's woken up by then. I hope so too, Lord Jiraiya. Kakashi would walk off, and Jiraiya would jump out the window and jump across the rooftops. Now we're going to transfer right into Naruto's mindscape. Inside of Naruto's mindscape, he would see a cage. This cage would have a giant seal on it, and Naruto would then look up. He would see the claws, the red fur, 9 big fluffy tails, and then a slanted face, glowing red eyes, and snarling teeth. Naruto was facing down the 9-tailed fox himself. But Naruto didn't feel the least bit scared. Thank you for saving me, I don't think I'm dead. Wait, am I dead? No, kid. If we were dead... Well, no. If you were dead, I would have died with you. Oh. Oh, that means that I'm alive. Yeah, so I was right. Thanks for saving me. Don't talk to me like that. I'm not your friend. I did it because I combined myself with your hatred. You were actually drawing my power out yourself. I wasn't even giving it to you. Your hatred just drew it out. I have to say, it was pretty impressive that you're able to draw my power with just your pure rage. But you didn't draw that much of it, only a single tail. Yeah, whatever. So, why can't I wake up? You've been diagnosed with a coma. I don't know when your body will be able to wake up, but I hope it's soon so that I don't have to hear your annoying voice anymore, kid. Hey, that's mean. I thought you just said that I was impressive. That a feat you did was a singular feat. I never said you could do it again. It was just pure luck, pure coincidence. Wait, what? Why is my body fading away? What? Wait, why are you disappearing? You were just diagnosed with a coma. How can you already be disappearing? Well, at least you won't be able to worry anymore. QB, help! Naruto would disappear from the QB's cage and then reappear in a room looked similar, but it was lit. Instead of the singular beam of light down, it was lit by blue torches all around the room, or torches with blue flames. In the middle sat a man with pale white and wrinkly skin, who wore white robes and he had horns on his face. He wore glasses and had a red swirling dot on his head. When he opened his eyes, they were purple with rings in them. "Ah, Naruto, I didn't expect to see you so early," he would say. Hey, old man, okay, who are you? Why am I here? This is my plane. My mindscape. I dragged you here from yours. So, if you dragged me to this mindscape, does that mean you could wake me up? Not really. I might be able to, but just listen to me, my boy. You are, well, to put it lightly, the reincarnation of my son, Ashura. What? Wait, you mean to tell me I'm like a reincarnation of, like, your son? Like, who even are you? I am Hakurobo, the sage of the six paths. Wait, hold up. If I'm your son, or the reincarnation of your son, you're practically God. Okay? So does that mean I'm like the son of God? I'm the reincarnation of the son of God. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, I guess it would be, my boy. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to tell you that I don't know when I'll be able to wake you up. I'll have to be working on a way to break your coma. But until then, you are going to be training fiercely. Inside your mindscape, of course. But you will retain all the knowledge and know how to do everything because of your training. But before I do any of that, I want to give you something. Please, touch my right hand with your right hand. Alright? They would connect their right hands, and when Naruto would pull away, the symbol that was on the sage's right hand, which was the symbol of the sun, would be gone. But that symbol would basically have been transferred to Naruto's hand. What? Why is that here? Ah! That's weird. Oh god, it's like a transversal tattoo. What the heck? That is the sun chakra, Naruto. The sun chakra is one of the two chakras that I possess. It was also the chakra that was passed down to Ashura. Please, Naruto, use the sun chakra and become more powerful than you could ever imagine. Now, I guess it's time for me to talk to someone I haven't talked to in a while. Let's go together back to your mindscape, my boy. Naruto and Hagoromo, or Naruto and the Sage of Six Paths, would both disappear. He would reappear, and Naruto would say, "So, do I just call you Sage of Six Paths?" Naruto would say as they walk up to Kurama's, the QB's cage, the Nine-Tails cage. "Oh, please, call me Hagoromo." "Oh, okay. That's cool." Hagoromo would knock on the cage, and the Nine-Tails would whip around with his eyes glowing, saying, "I thought you were gone, kid. God, if you ignore me one more..." This chakra, it's... Father? Yes, it is me, my son. Father? Kurama would actually start tearing up. Where have you been? Why were you gone for so long? I was so scared. The humans, they continuously sealed me inside of them. Father, why? If you were alive this entire time, you... I'm not alive. My chakra resides inside of this boy and another boy who is the reincarnation of Indra. Or Indra. Sorry. No, it'd be Indra. Yeah, and the reincarnation of Indra. So, you mean to tell me, Father, that you exist inside of him? What does that mean? Surely you remember Ashura, do you not? Yes, I do. Well then, this boy is his reincarnation. So, he's my brother? Mm-hmm. And I please ask you to work well with your brother. Please. Of course, Father. Whatever you ask. Good. I want you two to work together. Because together you can become more powerful than anyone could ever imagine. I've already given Naruto the gift of the Sun Chakra. And I want you to give him the gift of your full support and power. Right. Of course, Father. I will. Well, I guess I kinda misjudged you, hey kid. You're more special than I ever could have thought. Now there's only one thing left to do before I leave. You're leaving so soon? I have to, my son. But I promise, we will meet again one day. Hagoromo placed his hand on the seal before destroying it and the entirety of the cage. As soon as Hagoromo does this, a man with yellow hair would appear, and a woman with red hair would also appear beside him. They would start running up to the cage, and the man with yellow hair would have a jacket on that said 4th Hokage. Oh god, the entire seal was just eradicated. Wait, who is that? The man with the yellow hair would say. The woman with the red hair would look up and see Hagoromo flying down. Hey, Hagoromo! Naruto would say, who are these two people? Hagoromo would look over to the blonde-haired man and the red-haired woman. Kushida Uzumaki. Minato Nabikaze. You both sealed your chakras inside of Naruto, didn't you not? And that's why you are here, because my seal was broken. Do not worry, I will not harm your son, nor will I try to take him over. We will be working together from now on. After all, he is the reincarnation of my brother. Your brother? Minato would say. What do you mean? He is the reincarnation of Ashura, the son, or one of the sons of the Sage of the Six Paths. What are the two human sons, that is? Oh. So, is he like the predecessor of a special clan? Yes, Indra was the predecessor to the Uchiha clan. Meanwhile, Ashura was the predecessor to the Senju clan. This boy is the reincarnation of Ashura. Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you. The Sage, I assume you're the Sage of the Six Paths, right? Of course. But please, just call me Hagoromo. Well, Hagoromo-sama, I can't believe it. Wait, why are you here? Why are you here, actually? I was just asking. Your son fought a powerful opponent and nearly died because of it. He is now stuck in a coma. Oh, Naruto. The red-haired woman would run up and hug her son. I still don't understand what's going on. Minato would walk over and he would bend down next to Naruto and Kushina. Naruto, we're your mother and father. What? Wait, what? Are you serious? You mean my father was the 4th Hokage? You You're not kidding me, are you? Of course not, Naruto. I wouldn't lie to you about something like this. Huh. So you really are. It's so good to see you. Naruto would start crying and he would hug his parents. Both Kushina and Minato would hug him back before getting up and saying, I'm afraid we don't have much time left. So, just remember these things, Naruto. Become strong so you can defend the village. Minato would say, make sure you get back on a proper diet. I can tell you've been eating nothing but ramen these years now. I told that old man to give you a good diet. But also, find a woman that loves you very much. I once said that you should find a woman that was just like me, but I now see that that's wrong. If you find a woman that's just like me, she may not love you. But if you find a woman that truly does love you, even if she isn't like me, then you better take her hand. You understand me, Naruto? Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. He would wipe away tears as Minato, Kushina, and Hagoromo would all leave and dissipate. Well, I guess it's just you and me now. Yeah. That's right. Well then, I guess it's time for us to start trading. Yes. Teach me everything you can, brother. Of course, my brother. Eventually, Kurama would actually reveal his name as Kurama to Naruto. Obviously, that would be like one of the first things. And they would train for around 2 years. So basically until Jiraiya gets back. Over those 2 years, Naruto would perfect the Rasengan, being able to just summon it to his hand. He would then be told about wind or chakra natures from Kurama, and Kurama would help him train to the point where he would be able to use the Rasen Shuriken. Now, Naruto would explore the Sun Chakra's powers and eventually learn about 6 Paths Sage Mode. Yep! Beginning of Shippuden, Naruto is gonna have 6 Paths Sage Mode. Haha, fun. A couple of other things that Naruto would also be able to obtain over these next years is the ability to basically mold Kurama's chakra and go KCM 1. So he would actually discover that when he and Kurama combine their chakra, he would get this like golden cloak thing, and that he could combine that with 6 Paths Sage Mode. Eventually, they would master it over those 2 years to the point where he has KCM 2, which is instead of Naruto just draining Kurama's chakra, Naruto and Kurama would transfer their chakra, filtering their chakra through each other, and basically having an infinite supply of chakra. Although it's not infinite, but it's a practically bottomless well of chakra, almost. So like Hashirama levels of chakra. Well, actually no, much more than Hashirama levels of chakra. Yeah, way beyond that. Besides that, Naruto would also perfect like taijutsu. He would perfect his taijutsu skills. He would have a massive resistance to genjutsu. He would perfect 6 Paths Sage Mode, and eventually would learn about the Kurama Avatar. And he would basically go Kurama Avatar form, and he and Kurama would spar, which would be dope, because Kurama's literally feeding his chakra into this thing while sparring with it. So he's like, it's kind of unfair for me and you to spar while you're using my chakra. I guess you're right, Naruto would say. Naruto, being the ripe age of 15, would be visited by Hagoromo once more. I finally figured it out, Naruto boy. Figured what out? I can send you back now. Are you ready? Really? You can send me back? Please, go ahead and do it right now. Of course, my boy. And hey, when you go back, make sure you look into things more closely. Remember what your mother said. And your father, remember what they both said, okay? That was some solid advice. And I'd say it again. Yeah, of course. I would never forget what they said, or what they told me. Especially with how my mom was. She really beat the crap out of me. Yes. Are you ready, Naruto boy? Yeah. You ready, Kurama? Of course. I'm ready whenever you are, Naruto. Alright. Let's go, Hagoromo. Of course. Ashura. He would accidentally say, "Oh, sorry, I mean Naruto." Bye. Hagoromo would disappear from the mindscape as Naruto would then begin to feel again. Like, obviously he could feel in his mindscape, but he would start feeling weird. He felt weak, fragile. Light flooded his eyes, blinding him for a moment. He would feel his breathing, and it was labored. It was hard to breathe, and it was even hard to move. He could barely move. He just barely managed to push himself up, and he would then feel something heavy on his leg. What? Naruto would look down on his leg and try to move it, and he would see a head. A head of purple hair resting on his leg. A young girl sleeping there with beautiful white skin, and she wore a hoodie as well as sweatpants and ninja combat boots. Her hair was long and purple, but even though her hairstyle had changed, Naruto would recognize that girl from anywhere. It was Hinata Hyuga. So, this girl was the one who was visiting him, huh? Naruto had asked Kurama who exactly and what exactly had visited him over the years. At least, Naruto would be constantly telling Kurama to, check up on him. Seems as if Hinata was there every day. Sakura would visit every once in a while, but not too often, which kinda hurt. And everybody else would visit on occasion, but he didn't care as much. He wasn't really that, he was friends with all of them, but, he wasn't, as close as he was to Sakura, or at least as close as he thought he was to Sakura. But Hinata, she was there every day, sometimes even sleeping at the hospital, just laying on him. Naruto would kind of figure out by now that Hinata kind of has feelings for him, and he would actually begin himself starting to warm up again, and he would actually feel kind of cold, but he would rub Hinata on the shoulder and try to shake her awake, but it really wouldn't work since he could barely push her. That's how fragile he was, because he's been in a coma for 2 years. If you're in a coma for 2 years, you're practically dying at that point. But luckily for Naruto, he got that 9 tails regeneration, so he wouldn't die. His body is just very frail. But the motion would be enough to wake the very light sleeping, or Hinata being the light sleeper she is. Well, we don't know this, but I'm just gonna assume Hinata's a light sleeper. She would flutter her eyes open and then look over at someone who was sitting up in Naruto's bed. The blonde-headed boy was skinny and frail, but it was Naruto, and those blue eyes didn't lie. He was awake. He was actually awake. This was no prank, no genjutsu. Hinata knew this was real. Naruto-kun. She would jump up and wrap her arms around Naruto, pushing him back into the seat. Ow! Oh god. Oh, that hurt. That hurt more than 64 palms. Oh god. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just... Hinata. Thank you for visiting me every day. You really didn't have to do that, but... Thank you. I brought you something. Here it is. She'd pick up a basket and she'd place it on the thing. It was homemade pastries, and they looked really delicious. Naruto, not having actually eaten anything, he had been tube fed for 2 years, so not actually having eaten anything since the day before, he'd be quite hungry, and he would grab one of the pastries and bite into it. Oh, it felt so good to taste food again. Like, he was in absolute ecstasy, which might have basically upgraded the food's taste, but, like, it wasn't like it tasted bad. Like, it tasted really good, and Naruto said, God, Hinata, that's amazing. He would continue to scarf these down, obviously being quite hungry since, basically, since he's awake, he's burning more and more calories, and his body actually feels hunger instead of, like, him just getting the proper amount of nutrition. So when you're asleep, like, if you fell into a coma, you would just have to get a certain amount of nutrition and not actually have to be full. We humans like to feel full, but when you're in, like, a coma or you're, like, under anesthesia and they have to tube feed you, they won't give you enough to basically make you feel full. They'll give you enough to basically keep you off so that you don't die of hunger. So stuff like that. Because of this, Naruto, as I said, would scarf down all the pastries, and then Hinata would say, oh wait, I gotta go get the nurses. Hinata would start to walk out, and Naruto would hear the door open, and then he would hear the door open again, and 2 sets of footsteps would walk in the room. One of the nurses, along with Hinata, had come back. Hinata sat by the bed as the nurse said, Damn, you're actually awake? God, I gotta go get Lady Shizune and Lady Tsunade. Stay right there, don't try to move. I wasn't going to anyways. Good. I'm gonna go get them. Stay right here. Hinata, make sure he does. She would run off, and she would eventually come back with 2 other women who would be running through the door. Shizune would be trying to keep up with Tsunade, who was barreling down the hallway as fast as she could, thinking to herself, this better not be a prank. If this is a prank, I'm going to beat that little nurse into the ground. Please don't be a prank. Please don't be a prank. She would run into the room and run to Naruto's bed, and she would see him sitting up, looking out the window. Hinata still clutching to his arm, because even though Hinata is shy, she's just so happy that he's actually awake that she just can't help herself. And Tsunade would feel the tears well up in her eyes as the tears fell down her face, and she just began to sob as she walked over to Naruto and embraced him in a tight hug. Oh my god, you're actually awake. Oh my god, I didn't know if you were actually gonna wake up anytime soon. I was so worried. It's okay, Grandma. It's okay, Ba-chan. It's okay, Granny. I'm awake now, aren't I? He would say, using his free arm to basically hug Tsunade back. Tsunade would let go and wipe the tears from her eyes as she would say, well, I guess you're gonna be kinda angry that I tell you you've been out for 2 years. No, I know. The fox told me. The Nine Tails? Both, well, all of them would say, like Shizune, Tsunade, and Hinata would say, yeah, I actually met my parents. I actually met my parents. Did you know that my father's the 4th Hokage? It's insane. Everybody would be shocked by this, and Hinata would say, your father's the Lord 4th? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my mother was Kushina Uzumaki. What a weird world. Also, the seal's broken, but, at the same time, the fox has been helping me out a whole lot. Well, Naruto, I gotta tell you something. I think someone came in here and tattooed your hand, Shizune would say. I checked up on you one day, and there was this weird, almost like sun or flower or whatever. Oh. That's weird, Naruto would say, looking at his hand, noticing that what she meant was actually the sun chakra symbol. But Naruto would act like he didn't know what it was, not wanting to reveal anything about him being like the Sage of the Six Paths' son's reincarnation, or, Sage of Six Paths' powers, or anything like that. He would just keep that to himself. At least for now. Like, Kurama had told him to keep it a secret, and Naruto had agreed to keep it a secret. So, Naruto wouldn't mention anything about the Sage of Six Paths, or anything like that. He would just basically mention the fact that he and the fox basically got along now. Tsunade would say, I know that your determination to get stronger is, well, it's one of the strongest forces I've ever seen. Your determination is amazing, but I'm sorry that you had to be out for all this time. You could have gotten so much training done. Yeah, I guess you're right, but, well, I want to see how strong people are. Obviously, I'm going to take a few days to rest, but I want to see how strong everybody's gotten. Maybe a fight or two. You never change, do you? Shizune would say. Is that a bad thing? Of course not. It's a great thing. Hinata would say. She now had actually gotten the embarrassment again, and so she actually pushed herself, well, not pushed herself away, but she'd let go of Naruto's arm, but she would continue to smile and stand by his side. Over the next couple of days, Tsunade would keep it under wraps because she wanted it to be like a big reveal that Naruto is awake, so that nurse was kept quiet. Nobody was ordered to enter Naruto's room except for Shizune or Tsunade herself. So nobody actually knew that Naruto was awake. After this, Naruto would spend about 2 weeks in rehab, and eventually he would be at peak performance and would be given some new clothes. Naruto would get the Shippuden drip and would then get back his headband and would then be said that he is going to meet all of his past friends. He said, well, with how much Hinata's changed, I can't wait to see how much everybody else has changed. Hinata would blush at this and then say, well, everybody's changed a lot. In fact, everybody's actually a lot more powerful now. And practically everybody is a Chunin, actually. In fact, everyone is. You're the only one still a Genin. In fact, Neji's actually a Jonin. Neji? Really? Wow. That's really impressive. Well then, I guess we should go greet everyone then. Right. I told all of them to meet up in, I told all of them to meet up on a training ground. You said you wanted to test your strength, right? Well, I'll have you fight against Kakashi with Sakura. In fact, Sakura was actually my student. She trained with me over the past 2 years. So that's why she didn't visit a whole lot. And how would you know that? Wait, how would you know that, Naruto? Fox, duh. He can still see what happens to my body, even if I couldn't. Right. Sakura actually was quite worried about you, even if it didn't seem like it to Fox and how much she visited you. She was actually getting stronger so that she might be able to perfect a medicinal way to wake you up. In fact, how did you wake up? Guess it just happened. Natural occurrence, I guess, Naruto would say. Still, basically, not wanting to tell anybody about the Sage's 6 paths. Tsunade would just nod her head. This was literally the only explanation. Like, nobody had any idea of how to wake someone up from a coma. Or at least the coma that Naruto was in. They had tried everything. Every type of medicinal ninjutsu, every type of herb, even genjutsu. Like, Lady Kurenai had tried so many genjutsu on him, but it still didn't work. They had even tried, like, inflicting small amounts of pain to his body, but that still didn't work. And they didn't want to inflict, like, major pain, because then they might accidentally kill him because of how frail his body, like, continued to get. So, Naruto, Tsunade, Hinata, and Shizune would all start to walk over to the training grounds. Meanwhile, at the training grounds, Sakura and Kakashi would wait together, as well as the other 3 teams. Team Guy would be waiting, as well as Team 8 and Team 10. And then Kiba and Shino would actually look kind of worriedly at themselves, and Kurenai would then say, "Hey, what's wrong, you two?" Everybody would look over, and Kiba would then say, "Hinata's not here. I know she likes to visit Naruto and all, but Lady Tsunade directly ordered all of us to be here. I just don't want Lady Tsunade to get mad." "Don't worry, she probably wouldn't get mad at Hinata of all people," Sakura would say. "She knows how much, well, we all know how much she cares for Naruto, so I think Lady Tsunade would understand." Then they would see Lady Tsunade, Shizune, and Hinata walking up to them, and then they would all say, well, a couple of people would notice someone behind Tsunade, but they actually couldn't see who it was because that person was wearing like a cloak that covered their entire body. So they couldn't really see anything except except that they thought it was Shinobi because he was wearing combat sandals. Besides all of that, Tsunade would then say, "Well, this is definitely a surprise. Hinata, go stand with your team. It's definitely nice to get to see everybody again. I bet you think it's all nice too." Everybody would nod in agreement, and it was actually kind of nice. All the past rookies together. They actually hadn't seen each other, or at least been all together for a big reunion in quite some time, possibly even a year, because of missions and tuning exams and just stuff like that. Well, I want you all to meet someone. Or rather, yeah, to meet someone. You may know this person, but they've definitely changed. That's a fact. Now, I don't want any of you to freak out or anything, but this person is someone you probably, as I said, would know. Just, well, I'll let him speak for himself. Lady Tsunade and Shizune would back up, and Hinata would be beaming. Which is weird, because Hinata was practically as depressed as Sasuke because of what happened. Not as depressed as Sasuke, but like, she's pretty depressed because of what happened to Naruto. So this would be quite weird, and Shikamaru would be thinking through this, and he would be like, "There's no way." Well, Shikamaru, there is a way. Naruto would click off the small little thing that held the cloak together, and he grabbed the cloak and threw it to the side. "Hello, everyone. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. It's gonna be a pleasure getting to work with you," he would say, clenching his fist and smiling a bright smile. What the fuck? There's no way! Kiba would say, jumping back. Shino and basically practically everybody would be immediately surprised. "Naruto, you're awake?" Sakura would say. "I can't believe it!" She would run up to Naruto and hug him, and Naruto would be kind of worried. After all, being literally connected completely to Kurama, he could kind of sense emotion, and he could sense a slight bit of jealousy coming off of Hinata, which kind of scared him. Just a teensy bit. He would end the hug with Sakura, and everybody would be really pleased and just start to catch up with Naruto, but Tsunade would then say, "Naruto, you said you wanted to test your strength, right?" "Yeah, I did. But I'd rather just do a 1v1 against, well, who's the strongest person here?" Everybody would look around, but everybody would then settle on looking at Kakashi. Kakashi definitely was probably the strongest there, just because of the intense training that he had done, because he didn't want this, like, one of his students is gone, one of his students was in a coma. He didn't want his third student to basically anything to happen to her, so he was training it vigorously. Like, he's probably 2 to 3 times more, like, stronger than he was to his actual Shippuden counterpart. Sakura would not be stronger, but her medical ninjutsu prowess is so much better. Like, it was already amazing, but now it's even greater, and the Byakuo seal is actually completely visible at this point. Like, the 100 healings, or strength of 100, you know, like the diamond, is actually completely visible like Tsunade's, and it's only the beginning of Shippuden. Besides that, everybody else would actually be training a little bit harder. Not like too much harder to the point where they're like 2 to 3 times stronger like Kakashi is, but they would all be training a lot harder, especially Hinata. And so Hinata is probably the strength of she was in the 5th Great Ninja War, or the 4th Great Ninja War. Yeah. So she already has mastered the Lion Palm, or the Lion Barrage. Or no, not the Lion Barrage, but like the, you know, like the Lion Fist, or whatever that is. You know, like the flaming lions that she has on her fist. Fuck, I forgot what it's called. She would have mastered that, and she's actually somewhere around Neji's level in terms of just prowess in general. And she's actually able to defeat most of the members of the Rookie 11. Well, it'd be Rookie 10 because, you know, Naruto was in a coma, but now it's Rookie 11 again. So Hiyashi was actually considering making her Jonin. It was just her unhealthy obsession with going to see Naruto, like, basically every day if she could, like, as long as she wasn't on a mission. But every time she had free time, she would go to see Naruto, which worried him that she may not actually, like, she may not be able to become a Jonin because she's not focused. Besides that, yeah, basically everybody would look at Kakashi, and Kakashi would say, "Oh, well, I guess you're fighting me then." Kakashi would then say, "I won't start off with the Sharingan because, well, you obviously haven't trained in 2 years, so let's just go easy. I'll go easy on you, okay? Maybe you can back up your training." Everybody thought that they were all stronger than Naruto, and so they all were gonna be just basically there to see Kakashi beat the crap out of Naruto. Like, they didn't want him to, exactly. They didn't hate him or anything. They didn't hate Naruto or anything, but they were like, yeah, Naruto's gonna get his ass beat. Because, like, they didn't think that Naruto got any stronger, but we know that that's not true. So let's get straight into the Kakashi versus Naruto. Kakashi would get into a stance, and also Naruto would get into a stance for to start martial arts, but this was nothing new, it was just a basic stance. So it wasn't like some form of really impressive martial arts that Naruto had never shown before, but it was just a basic stance. Tsunade would then raise her hand and say 3, 2, 1, Hajime. Kakashi would dash forward, and so would Naruto, and they would meet in the middle, clashing their forearms together, and Kakashi would be quite impressed. Naruto seemed a lot stronger, but that was just natural progression, but it kind of did scare him that Naruto was just able to meet him in the middle like that. Like, even if it was natural progression of strength, that meant Naruto's natural progression of strength in his body was stupidly good. We know that isn't the case and that he trained, so basically, the strength that he had gained from training in Kurama's body transferred over to his body when his body was fully restored. Like, basically fully healed up. So he basically gained that kind of strength. Like, he gained everything once he woke up. It's not like he has to, like, convert, like, the knowledge and then he didn't actually get any stronger. No. Everything converted. Because, Sage 6 Paths bullshit. It's just as much plot convenience as Hashirama cells. But anyways, Naruto would then go into a frenzy of kicks and punches, almost doing a lion's barrage, but it had like a twist to it, and Kakashi would actually be blocking. Well, he blocked these like really well, of course, but he would actually be impressed that Naruto could go at this kind of speed. Like, this was much faster than he was able to go before. Naruto would then jump back, and he would wave hand signs saying, "Wind style," or no, Earth style, "Shocking wave." The earth would start to crack, and everybody would be like, "Wait, Earth affinity? That's... what? How does he know his affinity? He never showed that before," and everybody be immediately weirded out by this. Kakashi would then say, "Naruto, did you know that before?" Yeah, I did. I just never showed it." Naruto would just be bullshitting, and most of the people there could tell that he was bullshitting, but they wouldn't know, like, how the hell he would know this. Like, there's no good explanation. But then, basically, Kakashi would then say, "Alright then, I'm gonna come at you with full power." Kakashi would lift his headband and say, "Let's see how well you like this." Kakashi would dash forward with blinding speeds, but Naruto would also be able to block all his punches. But every time Naruto tried to attack, he would be immediately blocked and counterattacked. So it didn't look like Naruto was going to get anywhere with this kind of speed. So Naruto decided, "Well, Kakashi-sensei, are you sure you're at full power?" Kakashi would know that the Mankagekyo was the next step, but he didn't really want to Kamui Naruto, and besides, the Mankagekyo doesn't provide any better visual prowess than the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. It just literally provides you with a Mankagekyo ability. So Kakashi saw no reason, and he said, "Yeah, I am Naruto." Naruto would then say, "Then can I go full power?" Everybody would be shocked, like, "What do you mean full power?" Then Shikamaru said, "Oh, he's probably going to use the Nine Tails Chakra." That annoyance. I remember when he used that to beat me in the Chunin exams. Doesn't provide that much of a boost, though, so he shouldn't be able to overpower Kakashi. everybody would start to look at Naruto and would start to feel kind of nervous because Naruto was just standing there with closed eyes. After like 10 seconds, Naruto would get this black eyeliner over his eyes, like this black shading over his eyes, and everybody would be immediately weirded out. But Tsunade, Kakashi, and the other person who was there and watching, but from the shadows, like nobody knew he was there, would notice this as Sage Mode. Naruto would open his eyes, and his eyes would be slit-like and have crosses in them. Like, basically look like two crosses with golden eyes in them. He would then say, wow. Wow, Jiraiya-sensei. You're actually quite good at concealing your presence. Naruto would say without even looking towards his direction, just saying this simple fact. Jiraiya would then jump down into the clearing where everybody was and says, when did you learn Sage Mode? And then he would look back at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya would be like, wait, that's not Toad's Sage Mode. Well, he wouldn't say that, but he would just think it to itself. Like, no, everybody else just thought it was, but, God, Jiraiya knew this wasn't Toad's Sage Mode. Like, this was much different than Toad's Sage Mode. He would walk over, and he would say, just how strong are you, Naruto? I don't know. You want to find out, Jiraiya? He'd say, I'll take on both you and Kakashi at once. What? What are you talking about? Earth style. Naruto would say, Earth style, headhunter jutsu. Before two pairs of hands would pop out of the ground and grab Jiraiya by his ankles, but Jiraiya would be able to actually like jump up in the air and pull the thing from underground with him. It was actually a clone of Naruto. Nobody had seen Naruto create a clone. That was like really weird. And it also had Sage Mode, which was even weirder. It would then kick Jiraiya to the side on the top of the head and down into the ground. Jiraiya would then get up, and Naruto would say, you're probably going to need to go max power as well, Jiraiya-sensei. I know that this isn't your max power. Show me your Sage Mode. Naruto would say. Jiraiya would scoff, before summoning Ma and Pa and doing the ritual to get the imperfect Sage Mode. Now we have imperfect Sage Mode, Jiraiya, and Kakashi with his Sharingan versus Naruto 6 Paths Sage Mode. Naruto could easily wipe the floor with both of them with just 6 Paths Sage Mode, but Naruto wants to push it even further. In fact, that one kick actually sent Jiraiya crashing so far into the ground that he said it felt like harder than one of Tsunade's kicks. And the crater there that it left in its wake was definitely something to go off of. Everybody was extremely shocked by Naruto's just immense power, but Naruto then said, really want to know what my max power is? Because what I can sense from your max powers, both right now, is it's kind of boring, I guess you could say. Kakashi would then say, alright then, show us yours. Kakashi would lift down his eye band, and Jiraiya would exit the Sage Mode, not wanting to turn into a frog, obviously. Ma and Pa would then jump down, would just be standing on Jiraiya's shoulders, and, Tenten would be like, oh, cute, and so would, like, Froggy, cute. But then they would pay their attention back to Naruto, as Naruto would walk in front of them, and he would stand there. He would then do some Super Saiyan type bullshit where he puts his arms to his side and starts yelling, before eventually powering up into KCM2 6 Paths Sage Mode, and this would be such an immense force of power that would literally create a small crater just from him standing there and powering up. He would start floating into the sky, and he would be practically, like, literally flying at this point. He was just flying and floating above the ground. A 6 Paths staff in his hand, and multiple, and like the 9, or rather 10, or, I don't know how many he has, but the truth-seeking orbs behind him. And he would look down at them and just smile. So, what do you think of my max power? This power, it's insane. How do you have this? Jiraiya would ask, and everybody was definitely wondering the same thing. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am the son of Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki. I have mastered my friendship with the 9-tailed fox. We are like best friends as of now. Me and him are in tandem, complete tandem. This is what gives me this power. That is why I'm so powerful. Now, Naruto, I'm sorry I said KCM2 6 fast Sage Mode. No, Naruto, would actually turn off the Sage Mode and then activate the, what's it called? The KCM2. But he would actually deactivate the Sage Mode, and so when I did say the Truth Seeking Staff and Truth Seeking Orbs, that's a lie. They wouldn't actually be there. Sorry about that. But Naruto would be like, this is my max power, even though it's technically not, so he could technically go 6 fast Sage Mode and the Kurama Avatar, but he's not doing that, so even though he says this is his max power, it's still not his max power, but it's still enough to basically scare the shit out of everybody. I trained with Kurama, and yes, he has a name. He's a being of conscience after all. But I trained with Kurama all of these past 2 years, so that I could be strong enough to bring Sasuke back to the village. Everybody would be shocked. You still want to bring him back? Sakura would say. Sakura still wanted to bring him back too, but she would think that after what he did to Naruto, that Naruto wouldn't want anything to do with him. Sasuke tried to kill me, but Kurama told me something. After he stabbed me through the chest and nearly killed me, he felt guilty. He even cried. And he activated his Mankai Gekyo Sharingan, a type of Sharingan, an evolution of the Sharingan. But I definitely need to know we need to do something, and that's head over to where Sasuke is to find him and to save him before Orochimaru takes his body. I have no doubt that Sasuke has become quite powerful, but I'd still feel safer if we headed out right now. That's going to be going to be hard for you, Naruto. Why is that? Naruto would say, turning around, and basically he had already deactivated the KCM2, so this guy he just thought that people had been training. But this guy was actually Genma, and Genma would say, because we just got a message from the Sand Village that Gaara has been taken by members of an organization known as the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki has already struck, huh? Damn it. I thought it'd be a little bit longer. What is the Akatsuki's motive? Naruto would ask. Look, come on, I'll come with you. Come on, I'll come with you. Sakura, Kakashi, come with me. Do you need anybody else? Tsunade would ask Jiraiya. Jiraiya would nod no, that nobody else needed to come with them, and everybody else would nod as the small team of 4 headed off towards the exit of the village and then started to go to the Sand Village. Naruto would then say, you gonna explain to me what exactly the Akatsuki's motive is? It's to take all of the Jinchuriki and extract their tailed beasts. What? Naruto would say, obviously worried. Yes, this is their motive. Now, just know that you better not get captured by them, Naruto. Although with that kind of power, I highly doubt you will. Yeah, I guess. Come on, let's hurry up. I want to save Gaara. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed, and besides that, I know this is a new series, as I said in the beginning, but I hope you guys genuinely did enjoy, and make sure to check out It's a G, Kira Gem, Josh Love Anime, Red Demon of the Leaf, and Izukage, as well as subscribe, Road to QK before May of 2021, or this year, and also make sure you hit the little bell and you say all notifications, because if you do personalized notifications, you're not going to get jack shit from me because I'm not very important to the algorithm. So make sure you get all notifications from your boy. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video. Also make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.